Hey guys, it's Shane Willis from Remax, and in this video I'm actually going to go over the repair limits that definitely needs to be paid attention to in the Florida Association of Realtors Florida Bar contract. If you're a seller or a buyer, pay attention to this. Let's go.
I'm a man on a mission.
My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and
Don't need no permission.
I want to help you get to actual truth. Don't you just want the truth?
Alright guys, so we've come down to my screen here. I wanted to just show you, I have this question probably 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, and I know if I'm having it that many times, I know there's a ton of agents and a ton of customers that are having it that many times. So we need to pay attention, especially if you're a seller, because I'm seeing some rookie agents make the mistake of not countering this section, and you're really putting your sellers on a hook for it. So what I'm looking at right now is the most up-to-date. It's revision 619 of the 2017 FAR Bar, the Florida Association of Realtors Florida Bar contract. Okay, I'm looking at page 3. And page 3, section 9, discusses repair limits. So this isn't an as-is contract. Instead, this is actually repair limits. This is the normal contract. Okay. But what this defaults to, and I really want to concentrate on line 135 through 141, because what the contract defaults to, and this is what I want you to see. It says seller shall pay the following amount percentages of the purchase price for the following costs and expenses. 1, up to whatever's agreed to for general repairs. That's anything we find in the home inspection. 2, up to whatever we decide for WDO treatment and repairs. So that would be wood rot, fungus, any termite damage. 3, up to whatever we decide for costs associated with closing out an open or expired building permit, or obtaining the building permits for an existing improvement for which a permit was not obtained. That's a permit limit. All right. But what I really want you to pay attention to is each one of these say 1.5% if left blank. Now remember, right before it said of the purchase price. So think about that for a second. Let's say it's a $200,000 property, average property in the state of Florida. Actually, if you look at the state, it's probably 260 something is the average. But I want to do easy math because it's early in the morning. So let's say $200,000. That means if we left this blank, and I represent the buyer, and you're a seller, and you have your agent, or you're an agent that's representing a seller, that means that you now authorize me to spend $3,000 of your client's money, or your money if you're the seller, for anything I find in the home inspection, up to $3,000 for those repairs, as well as up to $3,000 for the repairs on anything I find on the WDO treatment. Again, wood rot, termite, fungus, any of that stuff, as well as an additional $3,000 for anything to get permits or close out existing permits. So in theory, you have now authorized this buyer to potentially spend up to $9,000 cash prior to closing to get this all done. Now, I am not going to speak for the entire state because there are a lot of areas. I've done real estate all over the state, and I know that customs change throughout the state. It's a big state, all right? But I know here a lot of times this gets limited to a cumulative number. But I also know there's a lot of rookie agents out there because we have a lot of people coming in that forget to change this. And also, I'm going to bring up one final thing before this video is done. If you're doing counters back and forth, remember that the counter form basically says nothing from a previous counter counts unless restated below. So if you counter as a seller and you counter, hey, I'm going to limit this to $1,000 cumulatively, $2,000 cumulatively, whatever it is cumulatively, okay, whatever you're comfortable with, and then they counter back but don't change that, you need to restate that on your third counter, okay, or make sure it's restated on the counter you're willing to accept, because anything on the counter forms or not anything on previous counter forms don't count towards the one that actually amends the contract unless restated below. And I've had that happen with a client who didn't do that. A listing agent did not do that, and it was a $300,000 and some odd house, and so technically we had $4,500, and the buyer pushed it. The buyer was an attorney and wanted brand new windows, which cost a little over $4,000, whereas the seller was trying to limit to $1,000, and they put that on the first counter, did not put it on the second, and my attorney buyer pushed it, and they got new windows. And needless to say, the listing agent was not happy about that, and I understand. I get it, but that's the contract too. You got to pay attention to the contract. So I wanted to bring that up because I know I see that a lot, and if I'm seeing it a lot, I know a lot of other agents are seeing it a lot, and I want to get this information out there for your benefit. Pay attention to this. It's a huge, huge deal.
I'm a man on a mission.
My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and
Don't need no permission.
I want to help you get to actual truth.
On a mission.
Don't you just want the truth?